Hi there, how's it going? This video is a remake of my last how to wall mount an LCD monitor for free video, and I was going to remake it because the last one is sort of complicated and hard to understand, blah blah blah. This one's going to be better and easier to understand, faster, and well, it'll just show the build process. Okay, to start off, basically the main ingredient is a old CD-ROM drive. I've already taken the back off of this one, but there is a full metal piece that goes on this side. But we will be using both sides, this metal piece on the outside and the other piece. We'll be wall mounting this monitor right here. It's a Samsung 24-inch. And then we'll make both pieces, one for the monitor, one for the wall, and basically show you how it all works. So let's get started. Alright, so here we have the CD-ROM drive. This is only a compact disc. Oh, it can rewrite them, but it's still ancient, so it's time for it to die. I've already taken off the back piece here because I actually used it on the monitor we're going to be mounting, but I'm remaking the video. So what you're going to find is, at first you need to take out these 4 screws. There's usually one here, 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 and here. The other piece just pops off then, and what you're left with is a nice flat sheet of metal to go over top. Now this plastic piece is still in the front, and that's what's going to be holding all the components inside. So you got these 2 clips here, one there and one there, and these will just pop out. There goes the other one, and it pretty much just pops off. Then you're left with this here, and you just basically need to get this metal shield off of the case. Now there's 2 more screws sitting right here. Now all your CD-ROM drives may be different, but they're pretty simple to figure out. It doesn't matter at all if you destroy this CD-ROM drive. It's all crap anyways, so just go ahead and undo these. Rip everything out. Again, it doesn't matter if you break any of this stuff because the CD-ROM drive is useless. Then you just pull out this. Oh, what do you know? Look at that. Empty shell. That was pretty simple, wasn't it? And for all you geeks out there, you know, in these CD-ROM drives, it's kind of fun. Inside this little laser assembly, there's actually 2 tiny neodymium magnets. If you work hard, you can pull those out. And they're quite fun to play with because they're really small, but they're really freaking powerful. So you're left with this piece here, and you can pretty well, I don't care if you leave it or not, but you can take off all this foam on the inside. There is a little metal tab here. We'll just push that down. You can actually do it with your fingers. But this will become the back piece that goes on the back of our monitor. And that's the first step. Alright guys, this is the back of my LCD monitor. I've already taken the stand off. What you're going to find on 99.9% of LCD monitors is there are 4 screws holding on a stand, and the stand usually has 2 little metal brackets that go up inside the monitor just to make sure that even if the screws are missing, it wouldn't fall right off. Now all I've done is taken off the stand and removed the 4 screws that were holding it in place, and it just pops out, and that's what you're left with on most monitors. It may not have an indent, it may just be in some different positions, but this wall mount is so versatile that it will, well, you'll make it so it fits any monitor that you want. So what you've done is you've taken out the monitor, and basically what we're going to do is determine where on this CD-ROM case the screw holes are going to go. And now as you can see, it's actually too short this way, so what we're going to do is bend these pieces down on the sides and make it work that way. This stuff is pretty thin, as you may see. It's not the thickest metal in the world, but the physics of how this and where the pressure lies from the weight of the monitor is going to allow even just a thin metal like this to work for what we want to. So let's get started on that. Alright, so now we're going to modify this piece here so that it fits across the back of our monitor. Obviously we need to bend out these pieces sideways now, which is simply, well, you should wear gloves for this, due to the fact that this metal can be sharp, and if you slip, it can cut you quite badly. So I'd recommend wearing gloves for it, but I'm confident I can handle myself. Now, basically these little tabs on the end need to be bent up, which is done simple as this. There, so you can see better. This metal is very pliable, and as you can see, even though we've got it partially flat, you still end up with these ridges along the sides here. Now keep in mind, I'm only having to do this because my monitor is a little bit, my back of my monitor, the screws are farther apart than this thing is wide. So that's why I'm having to extend it this way instead of this way. So we get that little bit of extra length out of it. I'm going to put this piece in a vise here and just flatten these grooves out so we can get going. Alright, so we've got this piece hammered out here. Basically what I did was put it on a small little anvil I had, and I just hammered on the edges because they were ridging up like this. Hammer on them and they go flat and the pieces bend up and blah 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 blah. What you end up with this. Not terribly, not terribly tough. I mean, it's still very flexible, but again, that's not what counts when you're doing this piece here. Now the next thing to do is take your stand and place it, the back of it, on the piece of metal here like you would be putting it on your monitor, and take a Sharpie and mark out your 4 holes. Now I don't have actually the stand here, it's at the studio, but I have my pre-made piece that I've already made in my old video. So I'm going to take that here, I'm going to lay it down right on the piece, and you can see it just fits, and I'm going to use my pre-existing holes, go like this, and go mark 1. Now I'm going to take this downstairs and drill out these holes, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I got these drilled out here, these 1, 2, 3, 4, but I forgot to mention the last part. Make sure you leave enough space beyond the top of the hole, and don't put these holes right at the edge, or else you will have no lip to bend over and create this piece here. So now we have this initial shape, and what you can do actually is just take a flat edge and draw out the outer rim of it. Now the next part is to take some cutting scissors, and we're going to, this stuff's so malleable it can cut it with metal scissors. So, like so, cut this stuff out. Now remember, again, you should be wearing gloves, but I'm just dumb, because once you start cutting this metal it does get awfully sharp. Now, watch me cut myself. Just trimming the edges a little bit. Now one thing you can do to alleviate these sharp edges is just take a file, and run along all the edges and clean them up. But again, this is just demonstration purposes. So you're left with all this mangled metal, garbage, along with the rest of the CD-ROM drive, unless you want to get those magnets, that is. Now you are left with this piece here, and I've left a little bit of a lip here from the top of this hole upwards, and that's what we're going to make our lip out of. So you take the scissors here, make 2 incisions about 1 inch from the end. This piece now becomes what we're going to fold over and make our lip out of, which in this case turns into this. So, easy enough. You take your pliers like that, and you bend it like that, bend it like that. Alright, so after you're said and done doing that, you're pretty much left with this, which is a pretty well exact replica of this. Obviously I spent a little more time on this guy here, making the edge a bit more straight, and so on and so forth. But that is the main idea behind this whole wall mount. Now, all you have to do is make a second piece and a second one of these, and what you're left with is, well, I'll just use the same piece as the back piece, but this is mounted on your wall, 4 drywall screws in there, plus 4 more screws, you don't want to be falling out. And then you have this piece here, and basically what happens is, hook, and you've got a piece that there's no way you could ever pull these apart. Not a chance. No monitor even weighing probably 50 pounds would be able to pull that apart. Let's see if you can see the angles there. Again, my corners aren't terribly great, but you know, with a bit more refinement, you get this edge sharper and it gets it even stronger. I made this one a lot smaller. So, you can see the difference in size. It sits like that. Very close to the wall, and there's only this much space that the monitor has to cover up. And, whoops, if I can pull my cables up a little bit. You have a hung monitor. Simple as that. Thanks for watching my video. That's how I wall mounted my monitor, and I find it works quite well. Takes, well, that piece probably took me 50 minutes to make, and it's not terribly hard, so get to it and wall mount your monitor. See you later.